Test. So they
parts of Western Germany.
Welcome to Back to the Father, a show about the journey of life focused on our final end, which is God Himself, our loving Father. And now, here's your host, Dave Palmer.
And welcome. This is Back to the Father here on the social media sites of the Guadalupe Radio Network. We are delighted that you are with us. Thanks so much. This is a program where we have a little bit of fun, sometimes get a little goofy, but ultimately it's all about St. Thomas Aquinas' teaching in the Summa Theologia about the meaning of life and our journey to our final end. So we are glad that you are with us today. And if you are on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, welcome. And we want to hear from you. We like to know what's on your mind. And we got a whole studio filled with people. Other than one person was not able to make it here today. Can you tell who it is?
I don't know. Actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Did y'all notice that she's not here?
Wait, someone's gone?
Yeah. Now this should give you a little hint. Okay. You remember this? This should bring you back memories of last week.
Oh yeah, flashbacks.
Do you remember that?
It's a nightmare.
Where there was a lady sitting right there, and she was wearing this hat. Okay, Cecil Anderson went on pilgrimage to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe this week, and so she's out. In fact, I think she got back into town today. She might be watching, for all I know. A few weeks ago, I wasn't here, and I was watching on my way home from North Carolina, so we miss her greatly. She'll be back, but her chicken hat she did not take to the Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. For some reason, maybe they don't allow chicken hats.
I hear they're illegal in Mexico.
The Shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So anyways, Jonathan von Weber-Hansberg is here today. He's got his own little hat on.
The chosen hat.
Come and see. So you actually went to a chosen event, huh?
I did, yes. The big live premiere of I think it was the 6th episode of season 2. They did it in Garland. And I got to go to that. It was really cool. I got to see Dallas Jenkins and everything.
So you've watched the whole series all the way through? Yeah. Including the season finale which just came out about, a week ago or so?
I think so, yeah, about a week ago.
But you were disappointed.
I was, yes. I really think that he should have included more of the Sermon on the Mount.
Okay. Are you in agreement, Sam?
I'm in mild agreement, yeah. I mean,
think so?
I after hearing your argument, it made a little more sense that he didn't, but I still sort of see. Well, it was kind of hard to watch and not see it.
What Dave was saying is that we already heard a lot of the sermon when he was talking to Matthew. And I agree, and I don't think that we should have seen basically the whole sermon, just like 30 minutes of Jesus talking. But I feel like because it was built up over so many episodes, this is the season finale, and it's going to be a whole year now before we're going to see anything else. We should have gotten a little bit more of a kind of a satisfying finish.
Yeah, also, by the time season 3 comes around, I'll probably be like, that was an amazing ending, because then I'll actually be able to watch more.
Well, I mean, it was a cliffhanger, and I don't think that... Yeah, now, here's the thing. Do you think season 3 will start with the Sermon on the Mount? I bet it will.
Probably.
Because by then, again, I think to me, I actually was thinking like, please don't do this whole Sermon on the Mount. I mean, we've already heard him recite the Beatitudes. We've already heard him and Matthew talk at length about salt and light. And now you're going to have him kind of do it again. But I think, Jonathan, I'm just guessing, I think the first scene of season 3 will be Jesus on the Sermon on the Mount, giving you exactly what you wanted. the beginning of that sermon. What do you think? You agree, Sam?
I agree. I think I think it'll be good.
Especially since you said it's going to be like a year before the next episode comes out.
Yeah, I think it's either the spring of next year or the fall of next year, but I think it's the fall.
All right.
So it's going to be a while.
It's been very good. I mean, what is it about The Chosen that it's not, the Christian movies and TV shows, there haven't been a lot of TV shows, but movies get a reputation for being kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
But this isn't cheesy. So what's different about it? What is it that makes The Chosen special? Because a lot of people agree they like it a lot.
I think it's the sort of the he's taken the liberty of making the apostles more like characters, and just sort of he's making the whole experience from their perspective, and he's just sort of giving them various situations in life and making them into characters rather than just historical figures.
Mm-hmm. He's also taking a lot of liberties.
Yeah.
That doing, that's not to say these things didn't happen. Like, for example, in episode 7 of season 2, Jesus gets taken in by the Roman authorities for questioning.
Yeah.
Well, that's not scriptural. I mean, that he didn't get taken in before his passion for questioning, did he? But there's no reason to say
He wouldn't.
he didn't. And so Dallas Jenkins and the Chosen writers take some liberties, like when Peter was first introduced last season, and he was in some kind of what was it, like a
Fight Club kind of thing?
Yeah, like a Fight Club. Obviously, that's not scriptural, but then again, and they don't have them doing anything that would be outside the context of who they are. You know, I thought it was interesting in the last episode where it was Thomas was clearly attracted to that one female character. Remember, he was
Rhema?
Yeah. He remember that, and he was talking to the Ethiopian woman and saying, "Oh, by the way, if you see Rhema, tell her."
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, but you don't think of first of all women traveling with the apostles, and they have Mary and Rhema.
Mary.
And you got Mary, the mother of Jesus, and then you also have Mary Magdalene, and then you got this Rhema lady, whoever she is, and then the Ethiopian lady. So that's a little interesting, but again, Scripture didn't say they only traveled together, but like Peter's wife wasn't traveling with him, So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Any other thoughts about The Chosen, Sam?
It's good. You should definitely come and see, as the hat says. Get the merch.
All right.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, you got that free?
Yep.
Everybody there that gave one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wait,
wow.
really?
Yeah. Sam wanted to be there.
Yeah, it costs money to get mine.
All right. And behind Jonathan von Weber-Hansberg, you see Diane Xavier, and she is our producer and board op, and she also answers the phone calls. If you're watching right now on one of our social media platforms, give us a call. Once we get into the meat of the topic today, let us know what you think. Phone number 877-757-9424. It's been a few episodes. I'm still thinking of Chosen. It's been a few shows since we've had a phone call, so we'd love to hear from you and let us know what's on your mind or if this stuff is making sense to you.
On Facebook, Nancy Rodriguez wanted to give a shout out and said hi to Sam Cavana.
Oh, is that right? Do you know this person?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
You better.
Yeah, hi, Mrs. Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for the shout out.
All right, a couple of things also. Today we're going to be talking about the passions of the soul. I'm going to ask you guys just kind of word association. What's the first thing you think of when you think of the passions? Don't say it yet. Okay, we'll come up on that in just a minute. If you're new to this program, the show is based on St. Thomas Aquinas' teachings in the Summa Theologia. We have covered a lot of ground. Do you guys have like a favorite show that we've done, like a favorite topic? I know, Sam, you haven't been here in all of them, but anyone kind of say that was kind of fun?
The 5 proofs.
Five proofs?
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Do you remember the 5 proofs?
Not all of them, but I remember what I think are the most important ones, at least.
Yeah. Movement, cause, possibility, necessity, levels of perfection, and then governance of the world. Okay. Yeah. But that was fun. We ought to revisit that. Because Sam wasn't here for that one.
No. Although I can always watch it back on YouTube.
That's a lazy way.
Tonight when you get home, kind of cozy up.
Yeah.
Maybe a glass of, warm hot chocolate and then just kind of cozy up and watch some back episodes. But anyways, we got some people on with us, and so thank you, welcome. We're glad you're with us. And again, feel free to comment or call. Diane's keeping track of all the comments as we go along. A couple other things before we dig into this. Summer Speaker Series event is less than 3 months away. Less than 3 weeks away, I should say. Well, but that's not false. I mean, it is less than 3 months, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Less than 3 years away. It's less than 3 millennia away.
Yeah.
But it's also less than 3 weeks away. It's Thursday, August 5th. Father John Ricardo is going to be in. I'm going to interview him tomorrow morning.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to do a Zoom interview with Father Ricardo from my home. I'm going to record it. We'll actually maybe play it next week, and we're going to send it out in a bulk email. So do get your tickets, summerspeakerseries.com. One other thing I want to say is I teach a class on the Summa Theologia to high school students every year. It starts in September. Registration is open. It's through Homeschool Connections. Their website is homeschoolconnectionsonline.com, I think. I should know that. But register there's 25 slots in the class. Guess how many are already taken?
20.
20, yeah.
I wish. No, 13 are taken, 12 spots available, at least as of this morning. All right, so sign up if you have a high school student that wants to learn more about the Summa Theologia in a very methodical way. We go through the whole thing. Go to homeschoolconnectionsonline.com and sign up for an introduction to the Summa Theologia. And also, the last thing I want to say before we get started is, and I've talked about the effort that I have started called A Way a Day. I won't read this quote from the Summa again because I've read it several times before, but basically Thomas Aquinas says that all the creatures in the world, everything around us, is telling us something about God. Okay, so every cloud or mountain or stream or butterfly or beaver or aardvark or mosquito, there's something about God that creature is telling us. There's some goodness about it. And it's our job to go out and discover it. And so this week I started a Facebook group page. And you can see on the screen here, what I have up on there is I'm encouraging everybody to do a way a day. Okay. And what this means is every single day, you make a concerted effort to find something in your daily experience, something that you see, and I'll give you a few examples of my week, and then take a picture of it, do a little bit of research, and then connect it to God, and then post on the Facebook group page what it is about this particular creature that united you to God, made you grow in your relationship with God. So I say here, find a flower, a tree, a frog, a snake, a grasshopper, an ant, a cloud, a baby, a spider, a worm, a blade of grass, and then connect it to God, okay? And it's really a lot of fun. And I promise you, if you do this, you're going to begin to see the world differently. I have become obsessed with trees. I drive around now, and I'm like, is that an oak? Is that a chestnut? Is that a crepe myrtle? Is that a pine? I mean, what is it? What is the purpose? So let me give you a few examples of my week and what I have come across. Tell me when you guys can see these pictures up on the screen. Do y'all see it now? Is it up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you saw the leaves on the left there, do you know what kind of tree that is? This is one that I actually spotted. I mean, it's right outside our office.
Is that a live oak?
Very good, Jonathan von Weber-Hansberg. Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you know why they call it a live oak?
Because it does not lose its leaves in the winter.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You just know that.
I like trees, yeah.
Okay, most oak trees are deciduous. Do you know how many? Now this is, you probably don't know this unless you've done research. But how many different types of oak trees are there?
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't know.
600.
Oh
600?
wow.
Okay, yeah, and there's a black oak outside. This is a live oak, and you're absolutely right. The reason why they call it a live oak is because they're evergreens, and sometimes it says they're semi-evergreen,
Because they shed their leaves at some point. but it's
eventually,
not-
yeah, they're not entirely evergreens. But even pine trees, shed every 2 years or so. But so they're called live oaks because they're not deciduous. They don't drop their leaves every year like a lot of most oak trees do. Okay. So why did God not create one kind of oak tree or 10? Why 600? Why the variety? Why so many? Why are some evergreen and some deciduous? I mean, I think it's kind of a fascinating type of thing. Okay, so the creature in the middle there, what would you call that?
That is a green anole.
I mean, I thought you were going to say a chameleon because, they're not chameleons.
No, yeah. They're kind of the same, but, they can change color, but they're not.
Yeah.
chameleons.
So a green anole. So did you know that?
Green anole. I thought it was.
I always said anole, but they're very common. I was walking out of the office the other day. I look over and I see the green anole. You notice, you recognize the brick there. That's right outside our building. And so I did a little bit of research on these. And again, I think God's like showing off. He's like, I've got thousands of species of lizards, and I'm going to make one that can change colors before your very eyes. I mean, imagine if Sam could just, consciously turn his skin black or red or pink. I mean, wouldn't that just be the coolest thing in the world? Well, we can't do that.
That'd be, yeah.
It's not in our nature to do that, right? But it is in the nature of the green anole to do it. They're actually in the iguana family.
Oh, really?
So let me tell you a couple of interesting things about the green anoles, okay? And again, this is a God thing. They have enlarged finger and toe pads that are covered with microscopic hooks. These clinging pads, together with sharp claws, enable them to climb even over a smooth surface with great speed and agility. So God in his goodness, other than allowing them to change colors, which is a protective mechanism, right? Because if they're on a brown tree and a bird sees them, it's going to come and swoop them down. But if they turn brown, then people aren't going to notice them because they're camouflaged, So it's a protective thing, right? But they got these little microscopic hooks on all their fingers. I mean, God is so good. Isn't that amazing? They can turn brown, they can turn yellow, they can turn green, and all the colors in between. All right, so that's the green anole. And finally, look at this cool ant there. That was outside my house last weekend. I took the picture. What do you notice about this ant that's kind of cool?
I can't see it that well, but it's pretty big, right?
Could you tell it's half red and half black? Because normally you think of ants as being either red or black, like a red ant or a black ant.
Is it a fire ant queen?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. But get a load of this. Okay, fascinating facts about ants. They do not have lungs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They do not have ears. Okay? They have 2 stomachs. Kind of like cows have 4 stomachs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some species of ants are asexual. Many species of ants can swim. Have you ever seen an ant swim?
Oh, I've seen the fire ant piles where they get on the water and they float like a big raft.
They all that kind of.
I've not seen that.
It's horrifying.
But anyways, the whole point of this is these are just things that I've seen this week, and if you want to go and I won't out her, but somebody Sam knows very well. Today joined the Facebook group page. So I was very appreciative that she did that. So I got 4 members of this. Okay. But you got to do it by invitation and then, practice your own away a day and just kind of find cool things in your everyday. It has to be an experience of your everyday life. Today I was driving back, I dropped my daughter off at school. I'm driving down the freeway and I see sunflowers and I'm like, I want to take a picture of a sunflower because I think those things are so incredible. I think they point to the sun, don't they?
Yeah, they follow.
Yeah, they follow the sun. But I was on a freeway going, 65 miles per hour, and I couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And so I want to search out a sunflower and take a picture of it, and then do some research, and then connect it to God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of I don't know exactly what they're called, but those flower areas, the nature areas where they have just huge hordes of flowers and trees and stuff.
Yeah,
So
like
those
nature,
also
like the botanical gardens.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
That's
Oh, yeah,
probably
those
a
are
better
cool.
words. Yeah.
Have you been to the Dallas one?
Yeah, Dallas and the Fort Worth one.
Yeah.
And the Fort Worth one is much better, I have to say.
Ooh.
Um.
But I don't live in Dallas, so I can say that.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. So, anyways, pretty cool things. Last thing about ants that I think are pretty cool. For every one human being in the world, how many ants are there? Approximately. No one's done the actual count. What would you guess? How in round numbers?
I say 1,000.
1,000 for every human being.
1,000?
There's 1,000 ants.
So I know that they can.
You
get
want to take a
ridiculously-
guess?
I don't really know where to start. I guess we could go 500. I'll go halfway.
Okay. I want somebody out there in social media land, because we actually have more people than usual that are watching right now, which doesn't mean thousands, but a pretty decent number.
For every one person watching.
we
have 5 ants.
For every host of this program or in studio person, how many people are watching?
Yeah.
All right, so here's the answer. You can be shocked. 1 million.
1 million.
Whoa.
Yeah. Think about that. You walk up to an ant pile. I mean, it's you and an ant pile. You stir it. Think about it. How
that's
many
true.
ants are there? Not they're not 1,000 or 500. I mean, there's like there can be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of ants just in every single ant pile, right? So 1 million of them for every one of us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Makes me feel outnumbered
A little bit.
a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Okay, ants can swim, and they are as old as dinosaurs. They say that there were ants 130 million years ago. So imagine if you do this every day. I'm going to challenge you guys not to do it every day, but to do it one time. Okay, so I want you to bring some goods to the program next week. Okay, Diane, that goes for you too. Just go take a picture. We'll put up on the PowerPoint if you want to. It's not, there's no grade. But then just do a little bit of research about something that you experienced in your everyday life, okay? Also, those of you watching, okay, the silent majority who are out there, by the way, we did hear from Christopher. Says, hi there, good afternoon. Christopher, glad you're watching out there. Thanks so much for being with us in the program today. Okay, so that is Away a Day. If you go to the Facebook group page, Away a Day, and join and participate, we'd love to have you on there. There's our quote from John 17:3, which I think summarizes the entire Summa Theologia. This is eternal life, that they may know thee, the one true God. Okay, let's talk about the passions of the soul. And I've got 6 pictures. Okay, well, first of all, let me go ahead and back up and do the word association game and say, when you hear the word passion, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Passion. First, just word, phrase, anything.
Cheesy romance novels.
That's a fair, yeah. that's
Cheesy
fair.
romance novels. Okay,
Yes.
so all right. Sam, anything else? Passion?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that comes to mind is like passion for a cause or for a sport.
Passion fruit.
Passion
Passion fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, that did not come to my mind, but yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as a passion fruit? Is that an actual?
Yeah,
it's a real fruit.
I think it's like a weird tropical one, but I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go back to these images, and there's particular passions that are represented by these pictures, and just tell me the ones you see on there. What passion do you think is being represented by these pictures? And again, it's not that it's only one, but it's something that I at least thought of as an example of a passion to represent these pictures here. And if you want to play along at home and you're watching, go ahead and take a guess as to what are the passions. We're going to talk about the division of them, the different categories, and of course, we close out the show today with trivia questions.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
guys came prepared. Sam Cavana.
I have one. I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll get to it.
All right.
I have one.
Okay.
Once again, I did not come prepared, so I have to.
Man, you always say that, and then you come up with these doozies, but then you're always trying to undersell, over-deliver. Yeah, so I know. Of course, Sissel, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, not here today. We're going to miss her trivia questions, but she may be watching. I don't know.
We actually have confirmation. She did put a comment in the YouTube chat.
Oh, is that
she's
right?
here.
Okay, what did she say?
Hi,
She
Sissel.
said, love the way a day idea.
All right.
Exclamation mark.
She did join the Way a Day group. Okay, so she's one of the mighty 4. Okay, Sam's close relative, me, Sissel, and my friend Mike Gaskins. Okay, so go ahead and join it. So, all right, any guess? What are the passions being represented in these pictures here?
I got a few. We
Yeah.
got love,
Okay.
anger, fear, disgust.
Which one do you think's anger?
Probably the arguing one, the couple.
Well, yeah, I was thinking it's either the arguing
Okay.
one or the lady with the towel on her head, because she kind of looks like she's angry, but then again, she.
You think so? I think she looks kind of happy.
Yeah, I don't think she's angry.
Well,
If she's angry, she's got a weird way of
That's true,
like
I guess.
when my wife gets angry at me, I wish she looked like that. Like, hey, I am so mad at you, Dave. Well, that's a smile. I think she's got a big
That's
mouth.
true, I guess, yeah.
mean, the lady, not my wife. Let me make that clear. All right. So what about the top right one? What passion is being shown there with the little girl?
Fear?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was
very good.
thinking.
Okay, so yeah, Sam's actually right. Anger, love or romance, in the top left. I actually like joy or excitement was the one I was getting at in the middle bottom one. How about the bottom right? Any guess on that one?
Thrills or something?
Thrill is good.
Thrill.
There's actually there's a passion called daring.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it's a very interesting passion because, I won't get ahead of myself, but daring. When you think of something daring, what exactly does that mean in relation to the object? That okay, but we'll talk about that then. And then the one the bottom left, I was getting at sadness. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right, I'm going to put a picture up right now, and I want you to within 5 seconds, you have to say the first word that comes to your mind having to do with a passion. Okay, like. Does this? Are you attracted to it? Are you repelled? Do you think it's great? Scared? Okay, go ahead. Right now, there you go.
Oh, no. Goodness, no.
So no,
No.
You're not a roller coaster guy.
Nope.
So fear,
Nope.
just repulsion.
Yes, repulsion.
So you go to Six Flags, you're not going to ride the roller coasters?
I've never been there before. I don't want to go.
Really?
It just doesn't seem like...
Do you seriously? That's interesting.
I just don't understand what's fun about it. It's just dumb. You're just being thrown around. And how is that fun? I mean, just...
I feel that way about like horror movies. I was like,
No, that's fun.
I was like, why watch a horror movie like just to scare yourself? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
Well, that's
know?
fun. I mean, it's a thrill that's not just dumb.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
could say.
okay. Do you like roller coasters?
No. Well, I've never really been on one either.
Wow, I'm in a whole studio of people that don't like roller coasters. You're
Yeah.
teenagers. Diane, you like roller
I've
coasters?
been on a roller coaster and I love it.
Oh man, my daughters and I went to Six Flags one time, and in the morning it was all rainy and thundery. It was a horrible day, but we decided, I want to go anyways, So we go there, and nobody came because everybody was scared by the weather, right? So we were like the only ones in the park. I mean,
Oh, that's
I mean
nice.
there were probably a couple hundred people in the park, but we went on the Titan. My daughter Maura and I. One time we'd go on it, we'd sit in the front, we'd get off, we'd run right back on, we'd get off, we'd run right, like no line, you would just run right. It's just the time that took us to get back, on.
Yeah.
We'd go again. And it was so cool because it was raining a little bit, and when you're doing on a roller coaster and the rain hits you, it feels like BBs. I mean, it
Yeah.
hurts.
Well, why is that fun?
But it was like so cool.
I'm being thrown around and being shot at. Why, this is great.
Now, okay, but it shows you the different reaction. When I see this, I have a different passion than you do. You're like, but you're not even like repulsed. You're just disinterested, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a passion. That's just kind of like a non-passion.
I'm just empty inside. That's all.
You're just an empty soul.
Yep.
Okay, now if Sissel is still watching, and I'd like to get her reaction from this. Don't you like when I call out particular people? Because
yeah.
then it forces them to keep watching because it's like, oh man, he may call me out. Okay, here's the next one. This is one that's going to warm the cockles of Sissel's heart, and tell me what y'all think. Look at that guy.
I'm
Do you
actually
see
not
it?
so freaked out by cockroaches.
You're like apathetic towards everything. You've got like no passionate response. So not just kind of like whatever.
Well, because I was planning on actually breeding them once to feed them to my lizard. But, so I just kind of learned about them and I didn't.
I think they have a lot of like babies, don't
Yeah,
they?
they
They
breed
give
real
birth. Do they live birth or they're like little cockroach eggs?
They hold the eggs inside of them and it's kind of this weird, like they kind of hatch right when they're born, sort of. It's weird.
Okay.
That
and
is
then,
weird.
yeah, kind of like some snakes. I mean, they're live births, but inside the snake, there's like little egg sacs.
There's some
But
fish
but,
that do that too.
fish do it, and then some fish give live birth, right? All right, so Sam, your reaction to the cockroach?
Yeah. Disgust.
Disgust.
For
Okay,
sure.
well that's a passion,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Okay, so keep that in mind, and anybody out there that wants to comment, let me know what you think about all this. And we're talking about the passions today. This is the Back to the Father program. We're going through the Summa Theologia, not in order. I just thought the going in order might be a little bit too arduous, so we're kind of picking little by topic, and we've covered a lot of ground on the program. So let me get to it and ask this question: what are the 4 principal passions? See if you can guess it. 4 principal passions, and what are they, and why are they the 4 principal passions? You want to take a guess?
I'd say love, joy, anger, and sadness.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I was-
You
yeah,
got, I think you got several of them. Yeah.
I was
You
kind of
are.
along the same lines. I had
Like
love
the most, you know.
Yeah. All right. Here's what he says. 4 commonly called principal passions, 2 of them joy and sadness. You got one of those, right? You
Yeah.
said love and sadness, but that's pretty close. They are said to be principal. Okay, joy, sadness are principal because in them all the other passions have their completion and end. Wherefore they arise from all the other passions. So every other passion, like the roller coaster, for example, it's going to end in either joy or sadness. Okay, for me it's joy. For you it's
Just why
Yeah.
am I doing this?
why am I up here being flung around on a rail, right?
Being
okay.
shot by BBs. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The other one is fear and hope, our principal passions, not because they complete the others simply, but because they complete them as regards the movement of the appetite towards something. So imagine a hot fudge sundae. Can we at least agree that we like hot fudge sundaes?
Yes.
Okay, please. I mean, you don't like cockroaches. You don't like roller coasters. You like hot fudge sundaes, Sam?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
they're
okay.
good.
So it says, in respect of good, movement begins in love. Okay, so the first movement you have towards a hot fudge sundae is love. Okay, not in the sense of like loving your friend or your mom, but you love it. You're attracted to it, right? Okay, well, actually, you love it, and then you desire it, and then you hope for it. Okay, that's the order. While in respect of evil, it begins in hatred, goes to aversion, and ends in fear. Hence, we distinguish these 4 passions in relation to present and future, for movement regards the future, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so those are the 4 principal passions: joy and sorrow, hope, and fear. Okay, so now we talk about, are they in the appetitive or the apprehensive part? Do you remember that distinction? Like the appetite has to do with the will or desires, and the apprehensive has to do with the intellect and knowledge. Remember that thing last week where it's kind of like the appetite, the object of the appetite is the good, right? And so you're always drawn to something good. The hot fudge sundae, the pizza, the romance, sleep, drink, that kind of thing. The only reason you'd be desiring it is because it's good, right? But then the intellect is drawn to the true. And the true resides in us through the passive intellect. Remember, we have the capacity to know all things, and all we have to really do is actualize it. So the first time you ever saw a dog or a cat, you actualized the knowledge which passively was already inside of you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, so passion implies that the patient is drawn to that which belongs to the agent. Now, the soul is drawn to a thing by the appetitive power rather than by the apprehensive power, because the soul has, through its appetitive power, an order of things as they are in themselves. Hence, the philosopher, Aristotle, says that good and evil, the objects of the appetitive power, are in things themselves. Okay, so the good is in the hot fudge sundae. The good is in the turkeyness. Okay, I had to mention the turkeyness.
You did, yes.
The good is in it, and then we're drawn to it. Whereas to apprehend something or to know it, it's passively in us already, but we have to actualize it, and then we come to know it, right? Okay, on the other hand, the apprehensive power is not drawn to a thing as it is in itself, but knows it by reason of an intention of the thing, which intention is in itself. Okay, so passions have to do with appetite. They have to do with what we are drawn to or repulsed from. All right, and so there's 2 categories of the passions. And by the way, let me give out the phone number, and if you are, somebody actually has clicked like, actually 2 likes so far, that may be a record. Give us a call, 877-757-9424 if you're listening and you are watching and this is making sense to you or not making sense to you, because you have to understand that if we're going back to the Father, all of the different faculties of our being, our intellect, our will, our desires, our appetites, our passions, they're all contributing to our journey back to the Father, right? They can help us or they can hurt us. Our intellect can help us, hurt us. Our will can certainly hurt us. Our passions can help us or hurt us. But we have to order them, right? Okay, so there's 2 kinds of passions. There's concupiscible and there's irascible. Okay, so in order, therefore, to discern which passions are in the irascible and which are in the concupiscible, we must take the object of each of these powers. The object of the concupiscible power is sensible good or evil, simply apprehended as such, which causes pain or pleasure. Okay, so give me an example of something that if you saw, you would just be drawn to. Like if you saw it, you'd say like, man, give me some of that.
Banjo.
Banjo?
I have a banjo and I love it. Yes.
I immediately thought of food, so music is a good.
Yeah, a banjo. So
better
you see a
one.
banjo, you're like, man, let me pick that thing up and
Yes,
start playing it,
I love
okay?
it.
All right. So what about something you would be instantly repulsed from and you just like, I don't like this. Because I don't know if roller coasters would
I'm just more indifferent to those.
yeah, more indifferent, you know.
Spiders probably. would freak me out.
Spiders, yeah. What anything, Sam? You saw it. I mean, like a guy running into the room like wielding a knife. I mean that.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah, that'd be scary.
a grizzly bear. You
Yeah.
know, I was in the the Smoky Mountains.
The Communist
2 weeks.
Manifesto.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there would be some people that would be like, man, give me some more of that Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear a young person your age that is repulsed by the Communist Manifesto.
Yeah.
Gives me hope for the future. All right, so, all right, so okay. So do you understand? Like with the concupiscible, it's like immediately you're drawn to it or you're repulsed. Okay, but it's not the same for every person. Okay, we're not all drawn. Some people probably hate, hot fudge sundaes. It's like, oh man, that's gross. If you have a intolerance to dairy or something, you're like, oh man, that's gross. I'm out of here. All right, I told you about the girl in my class who said she hated butterflies.
That's weird.
And I thought everybody universally loved butterflies, but she said they're just spiders with wings, and so she doesn't like them. Like, all right, okay, so you don't like butterflies, but I thought most people liked them a lot. All right, those of you out there, if you want to comment, tell us something that you are drawn to or repulsed from. You just don't like. You love it or you don't like it. Okay, the moment you see it, you're just drawn to it or you don't like it. Okay. Thomas says, since the soul must of necessity experience difficulty or struggle at times in acquiring some such good or avoiding some such evil, insofar as such good or evil is more than our animal nature can easily acquire or avoid, therefore this very good or evil, inasmuch as it is of an arduous or difficult nature, is the object of the irascible faculty. Okay, so imagine, tell me something you fear. Okay. What do you and also something you hope for? These are irascible passions: fear, despair, hope, anger, daring. Okay, so what's the difference between sorrow and fear? Like can you be sorrowful about a grizzly bear? The answer is there isn't a grizzly bear in the studio that I'm aware of.
Right.
I have one actually in
So
the
you
back,
could-
just so you know. I'd get him out if you wanted.
Yeah, we could
You brought
show
him
him a
with you?
camera.
Okay, you can only fear something that isn't present, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can only hope for something that you don't have. I can't hope to have a glass of water in my hand. I can hope to, have a new friend, or hope to have a PhD one day because I don't have a PhD. I can't hope to have a master's degree because I have it. I can love the fact that I have a master's degree. I can relish it. I can enjoy it, but I can't hope because I already have it. I can hope to have another master's degree, So you understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
All right. So let me go a little bit more detail because these are pretty cool. Okay. Every concupiscible passion in respect of good tends to it as love, desire, and joy, while every concupiscible passion in respect of evil tends to it as hatred, avoidance, or dislike, and sorrow. Wherefore, in the concupiscible passions, there can be no contrariety, okay? On the other hand, the object of the irascible faculty is sensible good or evil, considered not absolutely, but under the aspect of difficulty or arduousness, okay? In fact, to hope for something, it has to be something that is difficult to attain, okay? Like I can't hope to lift my hand above my head. Okay, because that's not difficult. Okay, you can't like, oh man, I wish I could do that. Because it's not difficult. I can hope to get a PhD because that's challenging, right? Okay, now the good which is difficult or arduous, considered as good, is of such a nature as to produce in us a tendency to it, which tendency pertains to the passion of hope. All right, this is not the theological virtue of hope, by the way, because the object of theological virtue of hope is God. The hope, like I hope to win the lottery. I hope to, whatever, take another vacation to Florida, okay? All right. Whereas considered as arduous or difficult it makes us turn from it, and this pertains to the passion of despair. In like matter, the arduous evil, considered as an evil, has the aspect of something to be shunned, and this is fear. Now, the cool thing about daring, okay, so let's say you think of something evil, like, I mean, I don't mean it evil, like a grizzly bear in the respect that we're talking about here. A grizzly bear is not evil. A grizzly bear is evil. That is good. But in the sense of attractiveness or repulsion, it's an evil, right? Because it can kill you, right? So if you look at the evil, in air quotes, of a grizzly bear, and you run from it, okay, that would be like the concupiscible passion of like hatred or fleeing it, right? If you fear it, you're seeing it as an evil. If you run towards an evil, that's daring. Like roller coasters are actually daring because you're actually putting yourself in a position of dying or being scared, which is not a good thing. So you're purposely running towards something that is, air quotes, evil, right? But there's a certain fascination in that. People are drawn to, why do we do daring things? Why do we watch scary movies? Why do we go to haunted houses? Why do we do things that intentionally scare us? Why do we ride roller coasters? Why do we skydive? Why do we jump off cliffs? Why do we, I don't know. What do you think? We're drawn to an evil.
Mm.
But why do we do that, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No such thing as a dumb answer.
I mean, the thing I think of is like with the roller coaster example, some people like to do roller coasters because of the thrill. So it's almost like I don't know, they desire it because it makes them more excited.
I'd say that. So, it's the knowledge of, that's all going to be okay, pretty much. Like if I'm watching a scary movie, I know that it's not actually real, but it is just kind of, you feel scared for the character, so you're kind of getting that enjoyment, kind of just the excitement.
Because it's not happening to you.
It's not happening to me
at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and like a haunted house, it's in the back of your mind. This isn't real.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to get scared.
But
it's a strange passion. It's like, why do we do it?
Yeah.
Why do we purposely put ourselves in positions of danger?
Because actually, I was thinking about that a little while ago. Because I was up at like 3 a.m. listening to a scary story, and I was pretty scared because I was half asleep and I was just terrified about this thing I was listening to, and I was like, why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a really weird thing that you just go after, but.
Yeah. So, I mean, the other passions make sense. I mean, like the concupiscible ones make sense. And the other thing about, and this also pertains to virtue, because the virtues moderate the passions. So, like, for example, the example of the hot fudge sundae. You go to Brahms, and let's just say you can put as many scoops of ice cream on the hot fudge sundae. They'll allow you to, right? A normal person would probably put 1 or 2 scoops, okay? But let's say you put 6 scoops of ice cream, all right? Well, now your concupiscible passion is drawing you to something good, right? But what virtue would kick in and say, oh, hold on there, buddy. Tap the brakes on that one. Maybe 2 scoops would be enough. That would be temperance. Right? Okay, so let's say you're you go to the restroom. Now, if Sissel's still watching, she's going to relate to this one. You walk down the hall, and this actually happens in our building here, and you see a cockroach in the hallway, and you just absolutely have a tendency, a desire to just flip out and go running the other direction, screaming and yelling. What virtue would moderate that? What
prudence?
No.
Opposite of prudence.
Well, no, it'd be fortitude, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because fortitude helps you deal with arduous situations in a rational manner, right?
Yeah.
But you would also require fortitude because, prudence, because prudence is an intellectual virtue that accompanies all the moral virtues, okay? So you got temperance, but that's the cool thing is that you got all these passions, like, the passion for, for like a sexual appetite or to eat or to drink or to sleep. But with every one of them, God has blessed us with virtues, some infused, some acquired, that help to moderate them. So you got this kind of battle going on within you that we're all drawn to excess, right? I mean, we're not all drawn to the same thing, but maybe, sleep too much or too much, eating or drinking or what have you. But then we got all these virtues that can be habitual where it helps us to align ourselves so that we don't get off track, right?
Yeah. There is someone in the YouTube chat, Max Smith, asked a question about kind of along those lines because Max was wondering, is drinking alcoholic beverages evil? So I don't know if...
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, because...
Jesus drank wine, so...
Yeah. I wonder, and Max can tell us, if you want to, Max, are you Protestant or Catholic? Because some Protestants would say that drinking alcohol is evil. But, and again, it fits in very well to the conversation here. If I go home tonight and I drink 2 beers, that would be okay. If I drink 8, that is sinful because now I've gotten myself inebriated. In your state of life, unless I guess your parents give you permission, I mean, you going home and drinking out any alcohol would be wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can think of a lot of examples. So to Max's question, I'd say, well, no, as long as the virtue of temperance is in play, drinking alcoholic beverages would be fine. I mean, because in a sense, I mean, we drink alcoholic beverage every Mass. In a sense, of course, it's been it's become the body and blood of Jesus Christ. But accidentally, it's still alcohol, right? It still has the intoxicating qualities to it. It still tastes like wine. So if drinking alcoholic beverages was a sin, boy, we'd be in trouble, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean. But I mean, I guess you could argue, well, it's not alcohol. It's not wine any longer. It's Jesus's blood, right? And so, anyways, good question, Max. Thanks so much for the question. I hope that helped out. But no, it's not inherently sinful to drink alcoholic beverages. All right. Any calls coming in? 877-757-9424.
Actually, I want to just put something in. Sam and I were talking about this a little while ago that we actually have a patron saint of beer. So.
We do, yeah.
St.
yeah?
Arnold, yeah.
St. Arnold.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's an alcohol called St. Arnold.
Yeah,
beer.
Texas, and it's in Houston.
Yeah, have you seen St. Pauli Girl beer?
No?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because there's St. Arnold's beer, and do you know anything about St. Arnold?
A little bit. I know he has a miracle attributed to him where there was this endless mug of beer that the people who were moving his relics could all drink out of. Get their fill.
And it just kept refilling?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's cool. I know. I wish I had that.
The coolest. But St. Pauli Girl is a bear, and, I think it's a German bear, and she's on the cover of it. And, she's not dressed immodestly, but, not exactly dressed like a nun. And I was just I jokingly say I don't remember the canonization of St. Pauli Girl or when exactly that happened, but it is a beer, and I've had it before. It's pretty good. All right, last couple things here. Are passions of the soul morally good or evil? What would you say? Are passions of the soul, anger and hope and fear and despair and daring and all these kind of things, are they morally good or evil?
I don't think they're either necessarily. I think it depends on the circumstance.
I think they're good, but they can be twisted by our fallen nature.
Yeah, but what's the litmus of saying, okay, they're good as long as they conform to what? Reason.
To God's will. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, and ultimately our reason must conform to God's will, right? But so as long as they conform to reason. So is it reasonable for me to go home tonight and drink 2 beers? Yeah. Is it reasonable for me to drive home 55, 60 miles per hour? Yeah. But drive 85? No. So anything, I don't know, that might be a passion. That might be the passion of daring. Is it a sin to go, what am I calling, skydiving or jumping off cliffs or wrestling alligators? I mean, I would say it may be a sin depending on the circumstance of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're the father of 10 kids and you're out,
endangering.
It's not good.
yourself.
Yeah, maybe that might be
You may
improvement.
want to rethink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your career choice.
Yeah. But I do think, I just got back from a pro-life boot camp, and one of the things that they did is they showed us this one morning a very, very graphic video of what abortions look like.
Yeah.
And so you could kind of tell from like the boot camp right after that video, it was like the atmosphere just completely changed, and people were very, very like, oh shoot.
Oh, you saw an abortion?
Not yeah, basically it's a video showing kind of what actually happened. And I think with the passions there, it's like there's anger and I guess disgust. And so it's kind of where those things are typically viewed as negative passions, and like you shouldn't be angry. But I think it does kind of depend on the circumstance, because in that scenario, like you don't want to be angry to the pregnant woman, but you kind of want, in a sense, an anger that motivates you to act. So I think it does depend.
Yeah. So something that conforms to reason, something that like if somebody had watched that video and said, "That's it, I'm gonna go, beat up an abortion doctor, or go to the nearest abortion doctor, run in there and start pummeling people." Well, that would be an inordinate reaction to watching that video. But to say I'm committed to the cause of life, I'm going to do everything I can to support women and babies and try to save lives. So it all has to do with how we react to anything. Anger, interestingly, can actually be virtuous. Like there are some things that if you're not angry about,
something's wrong.
Yeah, somebody comes up and slaps my one of my kids silly. If I'm like, "Oh, hey, dude, thanks a lot, man. Hey, have a great day." I mean, I actually think I just said I should be angry, and if I'm not angry, then something's wrong with me, right? So sometimes you should be angry. I think of remember, Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter guy who ended up dying from a stingray pierced his heart and all that. Now his son's doing it and his daughter's doing it. That's the kind of thing. Is that inordinate daring? Is that just entertainment? Is it the fact that he ended up dying from it? But that's the kind of thing I don't have an answer to specifically. But okay, Max wrote again, said, "My question centers more on the fact it harms the body." Well, Max, alcohol doesn't necessarily harm the body. In fact, these people that live to be 110, 112 years old, and it almost seems like every single time they say, "What's your secret to longevity?" they say, "I drink a glass of red wine every day." I mean, alcohol can serve a very good purpose. I mean, it calms you. So I would not agree that alcohol in and of itself harms the body.
I don't even necessarily think that if it did, harm the body in a minor way, I don't think that would be that bad, because, I mean, there are many things just in life that harm your body. I mean, I play the guitar and my fingers get callous and they bleed sometimes, but that's not really a sin, to, to have little bloody fingers kind of like that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's some harm that can come from a lot of things. All right, we're just about out of time. I got 2 last slides, and then we're going to go to the fun trivia round. That's all. These guys are just waiting for the trivia to come. I mean, they just kind of put up with 15 minutes of this stuff. they come for the Summa. They stay for the trivia. All right, and again, thanks to everybody who is watching and participating in the program today in social media land. Glad you're out there. Max, thanks for your questions. We always like to give an award, in air quotes, to the person who was most participatory, and I think Max is definitely that person. Do you guys know who Max is? Is he
What's his last
Smith?
name?
Is his
Smith?
last name.
Max Smith?
Oh, no.
Okay, Max, you are the man.
Good job, Max.
He texted something about Roe v. Wade, but I don't have time to read that one. But Max, we do appreciate it very much. All right, finally, what is the first of the concupiscible passions? We talked about the 4 primary passions. What is the very first? It's the most important of the passions. All of the other passions are directed towards this one. What is it? The first of the concupiscible passions. I showed you pictures of ice cream, a beautiful beach scenario, pizza. What passion comes to mind when you think of these things? What comes to mind? Any guesses?
Probably pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Pleasure is more kind of like the result of it. It's not so much I don't know, like delight is a passion. It's love. Like when the Beatles sang "All You Need Is Love," they actually were right.
Yeah.
Okay. Love is all you need. So everything is based on love. Hatred is based on love. Despair is based on love. Hope is based on love. Fear is based on love. They all are based on love. Okay. So that's the primary and first concupiscible passion. What is the first of the irascible passions? I put a couple pictures up there that give you a hint. I could have put a lottery ticket on there if you wanted. What's the first of the irascible passions? You remember what the irascible passions were? anger and daring and despair and hope and fear?
Maybe.
I
mean, if I had to guess,
I
I
don't
would
see
get-
any of those on the pictures. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You don't see, I mean, you guys in particular, the picture on the left there with graduation, aren't you hoping to graduate one day?
Hope.
Yeah.
there
Aren't
you go.
you perhaps
see that.
maybe hoping to get married? And so these are things that, of course, I can't hope for these because I've already gotten married and I've already graduated from, high school and college.
You could hope
and
for another
master's.
graduation.
Yeah, I could. Another one. I could hope for yours.
Yeah.
I could hope that Jonathan graduates one day, although probably that means he's no longer on the program, which will be a sad day for Back to the Father, I'll tell you
Terrible.
that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, hope is the first of the irascible passions because it's positive. It's based on love. You would only hope for something that you love, and so anyway, so that's it. Okay. Any questions from our in studio panel or anybody out there that's watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter? Do you have any questions before we go into the trivia round? And who wants to go first? We're going to let Sam go first for trivia?
I can go first, if
Yeah,
you'd
let him
like.
go so I can think of something.
Jonathan takes his time.
You do not come prepared, do you, Jonathan?
I live on the edge. It's daring.
Yeah, it is daring.
And I'm actually going to kind of have a little contest with you guys for my trivia questions.
I'm probably gonna lose. I really don't know. Like I was doing a little bit of research, and Jonathan was like, "Yeah, we already asked that. We already asked that. Already asked
Okay,
that."
well, that's all right. And eventually, we can't do specifically about St. Thomas Aquinas or the Summa because we're going to start running out of things.
Yeah.
Mine are things that are inside the Summa but not directly related to it. So go ahead, Sam.
Okay.
Big question.
So, oh yeah.
Hey, welcome to this trivia round on Back to the Father with Dave, Jonathan, and Sam.
Where we give Dave Summa to think about.
That sounds
That's
very
right.
professional.
I think Sissel has departed from us. She's
Aw,
either
Sissel.
Sissel. Gosh, when we lose Sissel, boy, that's not a good sign.
No.
Doing something
Okay,
wrong.
We
all
need
right,
Sissel back.
yeah. So Sissel, I mean, she just got back from Mexico and probably unpacking and
Unpacking.
reflecting over the week that was and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
all right, Sam, it's all you, man.
All right. So this one hopefully isn't too obvious, but St. Thomas Aquinas had 8 siblings. How many of them were boys and how many were girls?
Okay, so he was one of 9.
Yes.
Have we done this one already?
I think we've done part of it.
Yeah,
but-
part of it.
Okay. Well, you may
Okay.
know it then.
I'm gonna
I
go 5 brothers, 3 sisters.
I mean, you had the ratio right. It was 3 brothers and 5 sisters.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I guess the diet doesn't respect ratios.
No.
No, because you gotta okay.
Yeah, it makes
so,
sense.
So
I was also-
5,
It's
5
to
sisters,
3.
3 brothers.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he was in the minority, and it was from a good source. It was from Sister Marie Lorraine Touvray. So French.
Okay. All right.
All right. I just thought
Jonathan,
of
you
one.
got one?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So,
Well prepared, thought out. Okay. Go
yes.
ahead.
Right. So Aquinas, of course, as you know, was known to constantly converse with the angels around him. He would, be constantly lost in thought, and they said that, he
Yeah.
would converse with the angels. So there was one instance in which he was at the king's, he's at dinner with the king, and because they were friends and all that, and he was saying that he was quiet all day, and he was known to have done something related to this conversation with the angels.
Yeah.
Right during
They revealed something to him.
yes, and then.
And he said that'll show the Manichaeans, and he slammed his fist on the table, and because he was all quiet, and he said that'll show the Manichaeans, because he had come up with a something, and all the guests there were startled, right?
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
You see, Diane doesn't do the sound effect when I get it right. I mean, yeah.
There
Come
you
on,
go,
Diane.
there you go.
Okay. Good question. Good question.
That was
Yeah.
really funny to watch though, because you just had it immediately. Also, this is a long applause.
Can't be long enough. Okay, now Diane, you're gonna have to watch me as they guess, okay? Because I'm gonna do this or this. It's gonna be multiples, and what I'm gonna do is you each get 10 seconds to guess, and then Diane, if they go too long, 10 seconds, you go ahead and do them the bomb, okay? And then the next one goes, okay? What we're gonna do is a lightning round, and I want you all, starting with Sam. Okay, here's how it's going to go. I want you, don't say it out loud yet, okay?
Okay.
The 9 choirs of angels, according to St. Thomas Aquinas. Give me one of them, Sam. Right now, you got 10 seconds. The 9 choirs of angels. Okay, he's done.
Yeah, I don't think.
Okay, Jonathan.
The cherubim?
The cherubim. Okay. All right, very good. Sam,
See,
back to you.
Okay, seraphim.
Okay. Yeah. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so Sam got seraphim. Good. Okay, there's 7 remaining. To 10 seconds on the clock.
Archangels?
Huh? Archangels. Very good. Okay. Okay, Sam.
Okay, I don't know if this is even remotely qualified, but guardian angels.
Yeah, the angels. Very good. Okay. Wow, we got 2-2.
Dang it, that
And
was the one.
5 remaining. Jonathan.
5 remaining.
5 remaining. The clock is ticking. The 9 choirs of angels. If you guys want to guess out there in social media land, have at it. Jonathan, you got 3 seconds left.
I don't think I know.
Okay,
anymore.
don't know any of them. Okay, Diane. Okay, Sam. If you name one,
Cherubim.
we already did that one. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Cherubim's already been mentioned. Sam, if you name one of the 5 remaining choirs of angels, you are the champion of the angelic realm for Back to the
champion.
Father, and you will always be able to stick it in Jonathan's face that you've beat him on the angels. So
Well, I'm taller than you.
just one more. Okay, you've gotten seraphim, cherubim, archangels, and angels. One more of the 5. And if anybody wants to guess out there in social media land, you guys have been awful quiet. Sam, you got 3 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I
Can
don't
you name
know.
none of them? Okay, here they
No,
are.
I'm stuck.
Thrones, virtues, dominations,
Never heard of those.
powers, and principalities.
Oh,
heard of principalities
I could've
and
got
Okay, they're all mentioned in
principalities.
Scripture. The principalities, Saint Paul mentions them. Diane, did you know those?
Now, where can we learn more about this? Because I'm very
In the
intrigued by the
Summa.
angels.
Yeah, the Summa. Yeah. The Summa's got them all. He's got all the explanation of each one of them. What maybe we should do that. We've done a show on the angels.
Don't we get most
Okay.
of our angelology from Aquinas, right?
Yeah, most of it. Okay, real quick more. This will be a little bit easier. One more lightning round. Okay, this will be the
All right.
last thing we'll do. Same thing. 7 deadly sins. Jonathan, you start.
Lust,
Okay. Sam.
Greed,
Okay.
pride,
Okay.
envy.
Okay.
gluttony,
Good.
Oh, that was my next one. Dang it. How many have we done?
You've done 5. You got 2
Sloth.
more.
I
What?
was gonna do that one.
Sloth.
Okay.
Sloth.
Sloth. And then what's the last one?
Wait, how many? What were we on? We've done lust, pride, gluttony, sloth, envy.
One more. This is kind of like the family food where we can go back and you can steal it if he doesn't get it
Yeah.
within 5 seconds on the clock. What's the last one?
I don't know.
Okay, last one. Can you get it? Or else it's a tie. Kind of like the last one was a tie. Okay, I talked about it extensively on this program
Fear? No,
today.
not fear.
I talked about it during this program. I even mentioned it and used it as an example.
Disgust? No.
Pride.
They said pride. They said envy, gluttony, pride, greed, lust, anger.
Oh,
Yeah, anger. But I was thinking about like covetousness and like avarice. I thought that was one of them as well. Okay, but okay, yeah. You said sloth. That's definitely one of them. All right, that's going to do it. Thanks, guys. Good show. We miss you, Sissel. Sissel will be back next week. Thanks, everybody, for watching, participating, and sticking with us. And we'll see you next week. If you have suggestions for topics or things that you'd like us to discuss, email me, Dave Palmer at grnonline.com. See you next week. God bless you.
Thanks for joining us for Back to the Father. And don't forget, the glory of God is the human person fully alive. If you have comments about the show, email Dave Palmer at